Hi, Stampers. Welcome. I'm Pat Fairless from Fairless Stamp and Flair, and this is my first video for 2026. As you know, I took a bit of a break, but I'm excited to be back. So Happy New Year. And this is actually take two. I should tell you, these are not live, even though I know when they're published, it makes it sound like they're live, but they're not. I do pre-record them because I like the flexibility of being able to make the video, create the video on my schedule. So I don't want to have to do it at a certain time each week. It just because sometimes it doesn't work out. So this way, if I re-record, I have better control. Yesterday, I had issues with the sound. I do listen to part of it back just to make sure we've got sound and it sounds okay. And part of the video didn't have any sound. And so it took me a long time to figure out what was going on. So I'm trying something a little bit different today. I hope it works, and I'd hope I don't have to do it again because it gets frustrating when you have to do it more than once. But what we're going to do today, it's called smooshing. And I've done smooshing before, but today we're going to use the glass mat. So it's a little bit simpler, a little less messy, easier to clean up, let's put it that way, way of doing smooshing. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to flip my camera and my sound over to the phone, and we will get going. All right, let's hope I've got it all set up correctly. And we'll make sure it works. This is the card we're going to make. I'm going to do a little bit different variant on it, but this is the background that's made with smooshing. Let me show you up close. It's just kind of interesting. No two will ever look alike, and it's pretty easy. There is a written tutorial on the blog. I am actually creating this video on January 4th, but it will be on I'm going to schedule the video to go live on Wednesday afternoon. That way I can get it so it's on my blog post in time for Thursday's post. So you can catch it all there, but let's get started. So super easy. This is the piece for my card front, and what I would say, you can make this a little bit larger if you want, so that you can cut it down to size, because that'll give you some options to have some extra scrap pieces to decorate the inside of your card. Now, I didn't make mine bigger, so I've got another piece of scrap here. So we're going to do this one too, okay? Because I just want to make sure it's a nice habit to get into, to just make a couple little scraps, because that way you can tie the inside of your card to the front of the card. So I have, this is Bubble Bath ink, and I'm just tapping it on here to get some ink on my glass mat. Then we are going to spritz it with a water spritzer. Now, this is the part. This is not hard, obviously, but how much water to put on here, and I can't really give you an exact amount. I have a Stampin' Spritzer, and I do it maybe 3-4 times. I would suggest, if you're going to do this, just take some scrap cardstock and practice and play around, because it will make a difference on how it looks, if you get more water or less water. So I tend to just maybe do it 3-4 times, about 6 inches away. You don't want too much. And I'm going to use my scrap piece first to test it, to make sure it's kind of going to give me a look I like. And we're just going to dab this in here. Oh, okay, I got 2 spots. All right, that if you want it a little less speckly, then add a little bit more water. Push a little harder, and it'll get more of a smoosh mark. And you would just, I want to do this up. I want to do my front before I use this ink, and then we'll come back and use the scrap. So let me do the front, and I'm just going to push spots down You kind of want it to smoosh a little bit. Now you can see mine is a little more speckled than smooshed. So if I want, I can come back and add just a little more water. If you get too much water, it's just going to look like a pink color wash, kind of. All right. All right. I like this. You could also move it, which will make it a different design. Like I said, no two are going to look alike. All right. Here's one where there was a little bit more water. See how it's a little more smooshy? Kind of like that. I dragged some of the water over into the ink and did it and played. So here it's on that side too. So don't be afraid to just try different things. Now let me just make my scraps here so we can have a few pieces to decorate the inside. One other thing that's kind of a nice idea I learned as I was playing with my testing is if you drag this across here and just pick it up on the edge, you will get a little highlight on the edge, kind of like we do if we use our sponge dauber and ink. So you can do that. You can do all kinds of things with this. Just play around till you get what you like. And let me wipe this off. My little chamois over here. Clean this off because I'm the perfect one to always lay my card down in it. And let's go ahead and dry that good. Now, I did use thick, basic white cardstock. You can see it is still curling, but it doesn't curl as much. It handles the water a little bit better. So what you usually want to do now is just take this and you're going to let it dry. And I like to put it either under an acrylic block. You can use a book, anything that has a little bit of weight to it that will hold it flat. Okay, so and just let it dry. You can speed it up with the heat tool. The heat tool, be sure to heat it on both sides because it will kind of cause some warping. So by the magic of television, I already have mine dried. So let's just go ahead and make our alternate version of this card. I decided that I want to add a layer on here, a little pop of color. And I'm going to see how that looks. This is Secret C. My card base is Strawberry Slush. The designer series paper that I'm using is from a new set that's in the catalog, the new catalog that came out on Tuesday. It is called Made with Love Designer Series paper, and it's part of a stamp set that's kind of targeted, bundle that's targeted towards, I would say, Valentine's Day. There's lots of hearts and different things on here. I'm going to use a little bit different piece today. The colors in this designer paper have all kinds of reds. There's real red, there's bubble bath, there's flirty flamingo, poppy parade, and strawberry slush, I think. So you don't necessarily have to have strawberry slush to go with this designer paper. You can see here, this one shows most of the colors. But I did want to show you how we angle this piece across the bottom. So we're going to put in my piece, I obviously didn't get it dried good enough. So I'm just going to work it a little bit to just curled, but this does help. Excuse me. Oh, need a drink of water. Where's my water? I thought I'd show you how I cut this. In the tutorial, I do have some dimensions that you can use for guidance. I'm kind of turning around and talking. Probably shouldn't do that. I do have some dimensions in the tutorial. And basically, this piece is the width of your card front. So I did cut it down for this card so that I could have this. I cut it down. I cut a 4 inch down by 3/16. So Mine is 13/16. I know you don't like 16ths. Don't worry about that. Whatever width you want to make this is, I used about an inch here, but honestly, it doesn't matter. So what you want it to do is just line up this corner here with somewhere on this side so you get an angle. Okay, that's the main thing. It won't matter. It'll just make a little bit difference how steep your angle is, but to the card, it is not. What did I end up with? Okay, I ended up about 1.125 inches, which will be perfectly fine. So now we're just going to attach this to our technique sheet. So get out my adhesive, and I should grab my silicone mat. One nice thing about being over here, if you remember, I used to do these videos on the other side of the room, and I got a brand new glue thing, so it's kind of gooshing out. Got a little bit too much. Oh, now it doesn't want to come out at all. Okay, come on, you're brand new. You got glue in there. Okay. Sometimes we just have to talk to the thing, right? And I do kind of want to make sure I get the corners down, especially this little corner up here. So let's just go ahead and lay this across. And then I'm going to show you how I did the ribbon. Because sometimes placing a ribbon at an angle can be a little challenging. You can't just wrap it around. So since I'm adding a Secret C mat, this is Secret C, my new favorite in color. Oh, excuse me. It goes with everything. I did check the color coach, and Strawberry Slush did recommend Secret C. But I haven't found anything yet that it doesn't go with. Okay, so I'm going to put my Secret C across this piece. So I'm just going to cut a piece that's a little bit longer than my angle. And then the easiest way to do this is just to add a little bit of Stamp and Seal. I can find my Stamp and Seal. Oh, it's right there, close enough to bite me. All right, just add a little of this on the ends. And when you wrap this around, you want to lay it on here. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I need to stamp my love on there. I almost forgot. So the love is from a new stamp set also called Hope, Love, and Joy. These are the stamps that come with it. You've got joy, hope, and love, and an O is left empty. Oh, goodness. I have developed a frog in my throat. And there's all kinds of cute little images that you can use in place of the O, or you can just use an O. The images come with dies, so you can cut those out. But I'm just going to first stamp this love with Strawberry Slush. And I want to leave enough space so when I wrap my ribbon, I do have a little bit of a gap. So we're going to leave probably about, I would say, 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to line it up with the paper, with the DSP, to try to keep it close to the same angle. That'll work. Now we can put our ribbon around here. And what I wanted to show was we're just going to cover up this intersection of these two pieces. And because if you tried to wrap this all the way around, it's not going to want to stay in the same place. That's why I'm using a cut piece. And just take the back and fold it along the edge. And you can see it folds up, of course, right? It doesn't want to fold directly in line with the ribbon. But that's what you want. You want to just fold this back and then press it down. So now that's in good place. And now I'm going to put it on here. That'll get it, help hold it down. And I think I'm going to use liquid adhesive to help hold it a little flatter. That way, if a little bit of curl, the secret seal will help hold it flat. Make sure I'm. It's also, I'm told, supposed to give you a little time to slide it around. That never really works very well for me. I think I'm so worried about not getting too much glue that I get so little that it doesn't want to let it slide. I'm starting to use liquid adhesive more. It's still not one of my, it's still not my favorite because like right now my fingers are all sticky. So we're going to switch to our stamp and seal here. Actually, you know what? I do not want to do that. So I'm going to show you a trick. You put seal on, you didn't want it on there. Just take your finger and roll it off. Well, all right. It does work. It takes a bit of work to roll it off, to get the sticky off. I wanted to put this on with dimensionals, so I want to get as much of this off as I can. But it is relatively easy to get off if you roll it. And sometimes rolling it at the ends works best, and sometimes going from the side works best. Let me just, that should be fine. So where are my dimensionals? Here we go. So let's go ahead and just, I'll put where I have a little bit of glue seal left on here. I'll just put it up a couple extra of these so it doesn't push down and stick there. I'm kind of a dimensional-aholic anyway, as you know, so I tend to use a lot. And take these off, and I know I should learn to use my take your pick tool, but sharp pointy things and me are not always a good combination. I've been known to get blood on my card, so I do try to avoid them sometimes. Okay, give that a good push, and I'm just going to bend it a little bit to get rid of some of that. Okay, so we need an O, and I decided since the word was love, I was going to use the heart die. So I die cut a heart from Strawberry Slush, and then there's another smaller die in the die pack, this little one here, that goes, you can use on the top, and I just cut some from my scraps of my technique sheet. That's why I'd say I like to have a little left over. You can make a strip on the inside, which I also did. And we need some embellishments up here. So I'm going to use these 20, 25, 26 in color flat pearls. I love these. They have a really pretty shimmer and shine. And the nice thing is they are a little bit flatter. So for mailing, that makes kind of a nice combination. And I'm going to go with the color of my ribbon. And I used 3. Started with the large one and worked my way down to the smaller one. There's 3, they come in 3 sizes. So here's the last one. I'm just going to do it in just a different color, but same idea as the first card. The first card I thought looked okay. So sometimes I should put the the two outside ones in first, and it's sometimes easier to just place the other one in the center. But we got it. That'll work. So on my card, I have glue on here. Let's see if I can get that off. Like I said, that's the good thing about it. I know it's screechy, sorry. It means it's clean. So my mom told me. When you're washing windows, you want to squeak, and you know it's clean. So I have a bow on here, which I'm actually kind of proud of that bow. It turned out pretty good. But I'm not going to put you through the pain of watching me make a bow. So we're just going to tie a little piece through around the ribbon, and we'll just knot it. It'll be fine. I like bows, but I don't like making them unless I'm using my bow easy. So we're just gonna, I never know which way I want to pull it. Let's just go with that. Now I have my ribbon scissors, so it should cut better. And, oh. I want that out there. I'm probably totally covering it up with my hand, aren't I? Okay. It's looking like this is upside down in my camera. I'm hoping it's mirrored and okay. When you watch this, it's upside down when I'm looking at it, which is a little annoying. I'm not sure why that is. Probably another technical issue. Now, I went ahead and did the inside here, and I just made some more of those hearts. I did use the Happy Valentine's Day stamp from Be My Valentine. This is a stamp set. It's been around for a couple of years. It's in the current catalog. And this Valentine's stamp here has gotten a lot of use. It's a nice size, and I like the script in the font. But here I just added some more hearts, similar to what I did here. On my first card, I used my scraps to cut out some little hearts, and I just did each corner. So there's a couple different options. So those are our two cards, and that is smooshing on a glass mat. I don't know, which card do you like best? I think this one's a little brighter, and I don't know if that's because the Secret C makes it pop. This is monochromatic, which is what I was after, and it's got softer paper, designer paper. But there's the two cards. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one you think you like best. And I'm going to flip my camera back. Sure. Okay. I hope I'm back. I hope you can hear me again. Last time when I did this, I couldn't hear me when I got back to my face view. So let's keep our fingers crossed and it worked, because I don't want to do it 3 times. I'll start to believe it's just not meant to be. I'm not very patient when it comes to this stuff if it doesn't work. So anyway, I hope you liked smooshing. And if you want to get a tutorial or watch the video again, you can always go to my YouTube channel, Fearless Stamp and Flair. Blog.com is my blog, and it has a link to the YouTube video. The Facebook video will be available for about 30 days, and then Facebook takes them down now after 30 days, which is fine. It's always out there on YouTube, so I don't really care if it's on Facebook forever. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time finding something twice on Facebook. Once I see it the first time, and I go back to look for it, I can't always find it. So if you need to see it again, it'll be on YouTube. So thanks. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. We will see you next week with something else.